Alrighty, should you buy a home in Fernie in 2026? The truth. Let's talk about it. If you're thinking about buying a home in Fernie in 2026, you're probably stuck between two completely opposite voices. One side is telling you, wait, prices could fall, rates are still high. And the other side is screaming, if you don't buy now, you're never going to get in. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people asking, should I buy in Fernie, are asking the wrong question. Because Fernie doesn't behave like most Canadian housing markets. That is for sure. And if you apply the wrong strategy here, you don't just overpay, you can lock yourself into a lifestyle you can't actually afford. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly who should buy in Fernie in 2026, who should absolutely not, and how I'd approach buying here if I were starting from scratch today. So let's start with something nobody really says out loud. The Canadian home ownership dream was built for stable cities, not mountain resort towns like Fernie. Okay, let's get one thing straight here. The original playbook went like this. You get a job, save for a down payment, you buy a house, then you let time do the work, and you pay your bills. And that system worked when prices moved slowly, wages tracked inflation, and homes were primarily shelter. Fernie is absolutely none of those things anymore. Here, housing is shelter, lifestyle, status, scarcity, and in many cases, a speculative asset. And that changes everything, because when housing becomes a lifestyle product, logic stops working the way buyers expect it to. So here's what makes Fernie fundamentally different. Fernie has a permanently constrained land base. Basically, we're stuck in the valley with train tracks and a river and mountains. A globally recognized ski resort, Fernie Alpine Resort, known across the world. Heavy Alberta demand. We're 3 hours from Calgary, 2 hours from Lethbridge. Easy, quick little drive. And we've got a limited ability to rapidly add supply. Unlike major cities, Fernie cannot sprawl outward endlessly. We do not have that urban sprawl that you can see in Okotoks or in Calgary or Lethbridge. We don't have that ability to just keep going out. We can't just pave another suburb over the mountains. So what happens? Every cycle of demand doesn't just push the prices, it reprices the entire town, and it's usually upwards. So that's why buyers who waited for a pullback in Fernie over the last decade often found themselves waiting longer, paying more, or being pushed into other locations. This isn't Toronto, this isn't Calgary, this is a mountain market with lifestyle gravity. So here's the trap most buyers don't see until it's too late. In Fernie, affordability doesn't decline gradually, it falls off a cliff. 1 year you can still stretch into a small detached home, a half duplex, or a well-located townhouse, and then suddenly the same inventory is gone. New builds jump another pricing tier, and your options collapse into compromises. And that's why Fernie buyers don't downsize expectations. They get resorted into a completely different lifestyle. Longer commutes, worse layouts, less flexibility, older homes. Waiting doesn't just cost money here, it actually costs optionality. So waiting can cost you more than just buying. Let's challenge the most common buyer advice. Just wait for rates to come down. Sounds reasonable until you understand Fernie demand. When rates fall, pent up buyers flood back in. We all have buyers waiting eagerly to pick off the best deals and the perfect spot for them, and they're ready to go. So if you are local, you better be ready to go. Alberta equity re-enters aggressively. Lifestyle buyers stop hesitating and they jump. That doesn't lower prices in Fernie. and it compresses inventory. Think of it like a powder day at Fernie Alpine Resort. The day after a storm isn't calmer. Nope, powder day, it's chaos. Lift lines get longer, not shorter. Lower rates don't create bargains here, they create competition. So who should buy in Fernie in 2026? Let's get very clear on this, okay? You should strongly consider buying in Fernie in 2026 if you are planning to stay 5+ years, buying for lifestyle and stability, comfortable with imperfect cash flow, willing to think creatively, think suites, rentals, shared ownership. Fernie rewards long-term alignment, not short-term optimization. Buyers who do well here use basement suites, rent rooms seasonally, offset costs intelligently, and accept that the first home isn't the dream home. Okay, it's your starter home. You'll move up from here, okay? This is a ladder market. You don't leap to the top. You get on the ladder before it lifts again. So we've talked a lot about who should. Let's talk about who shouldn't be buying in Fernie. Here's the hard truth. You should not buy in Fernie in 2026 if you need perfect monthly cash flow. You're counting on short-term appreciation. You want to set it and forget it type of investment. You'll panic during the quiet sales periods, and Fernie real estate is not passive. It's seasonal, emotional, weather dependent, regulation sensitive. And if you want clean spreadsheets and predictability, this market might frustrate you a little bit. So Fernie rewards patience, not impatience and frustration. So how I'd buy in Fernie if I were starting today. If I was buying in Fernie in 2026, I'd focus on these 3 things. Number 1, flexibility. A legal or functional suite, room to rent, layout options. Number 2, location resilience. Not looking for the hype, not looking for the views alone, but areas that stay liquid in slower markets. And number 3, lifestyle alignment, because if the numbers get tight, you still need to want to live here. Fernie is too expensive to hate your own house. All right, so here's what most people aren't pricing in yet. You ready for this? Fernie isn't just attracting skiers anymore. It's pulling remote professionals, semi-retired buyers, families exiting bigger cities, buyers seeking control over the lifestyle. And that demand is quieter, but it's stickier. These buyers don't flip, they don't panic sell, they anchor prices, and that's why Fernie's corrections tend to be shallow and recoveries tend to be fast. If you're thinking about buying in Fernie and you're stuck between waiting, acting, drop a comment below, give me a shout, tell me what's holding you back. Is it prices, rates, inventory, fear of overpaying? I read every comment and answer your questions, and your questions will actually help shape the next videos. Pay attention, I'm going to keep doing this. My goal here is to help you. Please reach out. I'm an easy guy to talk to, and as you can see, I probably talk too much. Have a great day.